The past 24 hours have been very somber here in the US following the tragic attack that took the life of Charlie Kirk, and given the political nature of this event, this is obviously a sore subject for many people, especially on the right, even though I believe it should be a cautionary tale for people on all sides of the political spectrum, especially when it comes to freedom of speech. And since last night, I've been seeing a bunch of articles pop up claiming that Paramount has removed a recent South Park episode where Charlie Kirk was mocked. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what happened with that episode and my thoughts about this situation in general. So for those of you that are not aware, the way Charlie Kirk was mocked on South Park was through the character of Eric Cartman trying to act like a more extreme version of Charlie by going to colleges and debating students about politics. The satire here in this episode is obvious, especially when you look at Cartman's haircut, which is very similar to Charlie's. At the end of the episode, there's a segment where Cartman goes to an awards show called the Charlie Kirk Awards, and they use that opportunity to poke fun of Charlie even more. Now, as for those articles saying that Paramount has pulled the recent South Park Charlie Kirk episode, that's only partially correct. You see, originally last night, the Charlie Kirk South Park episode that already aired a few weeks ago was supposed to air again as a rerun, but due to the tragic events of yesterday, Paramount removed that episode from their schedule and showed a different one instead. And since some people have been confused about this whole situation, I wanted to let you know that I actually have just looked on Paramount's streaming service, Paramount Plus, and at the time of the making of this video, the Charlie Kirk South Park episode is still intact. And since I've been reading articles that some people are demanding that the episode be removed altogether, all across the board, and even pointing their fingers at South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, blaming them for what happened to Charlie, I have to say that I mostly disagree with that. Mainly because Charlie Kirk seemed to have a really positive attitude towards people, and by all accounts, he appeared to have found the satire that South Park did on him very amusing. He not only took the image from the episode where they gave Cartman a similar haircut and used it for his own personal profile picture for a bit, he then also posted a reaction online to the episode, watching clips of it with his friends, and he seemed genuinely entertained by it.
It's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
First of all, I just think it's hilarious.
In fact, he was even surprised at some of the homework that Trey and Matt did prior to them skewering him, and he didn't really seem offended at all, but rather he took it in good stride, and maybe that says something about the type of person that he was.
Credit to the writers, they know my stuff.
So when it comes to that, I don't necessarily think that this episode needs to be deleted from history. If anything, South Park being a show that sheds light on world events and pop culture means that it would make sense that Charlie Kirk would have a place there right now and in years to come through streaming. In my opinion, Charlie's presence there signals that he was a noteworthy political figure. If I had to actually level some criticism towards South Park, it would be that I think that season 27 until now has been rather disappointing overall, as Trey and Matt seem to obsessively focus on very one-sided political criticism. While most people understand that a show like South Park is pure unapologetic satire, in the past, Trey and Matt always knew how to make fun of everything and everybody. But I do feel that over the past 5 years, they often seem to treat left-leaning figures with kids' gloves while treating the right much more harshly. The previous administration certainly had a lot of things about it that you could make fun of, but they always seem to steer away from that at every corner. Meanwhile, this current administration gets destroyed every week over and over again, using pretty much the same jokes repeatedly too, which also feels kind of lazy. It's one thing if you're really original and funny every week, but to constantly use the same gag gets old pretty quickly, and I think that in that sense, I'm not especially pleased with the current season of South Park, because I don't feel like we're getting both sides anymore, or that Trey and Matt are being equal opportunity offenders like they've always been, which is something very important for a satire show. So that would be my main criticism towards South Park. With that being said, I actually thought that the Charlie Kirk satire was not overly offensive, and if he himself had a good laugh and was a good sport about it, I think other people can be as well. Now, will Paramount ultimately pull this episode from their streaming? I don't know. They haven't done so at the time of the making of this video. They certainly didn't want to air it on the day of the tragedy, and I can understand that. But at the same time, I'm not certain that this episode is going to get pulled completely, or that anything would actually get accomplished by pulling it. So yeah, I just wanted to give you this quick update, and if you want to get additional pop culture news reports, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, my friends. Thank you, and good day.